Hello, and welcome back to the world of assassination and the trending contracts. And today's contract, the hired gun, set in Whittleton Creek, and the contract ID is on the screen now for anyone who wishes to have a go at it, and has been supplied to us today, courtesy of Broad Yar 102409. So, moving on to our briefing, the Mafia has sent a hitman to kill their old boss after he betrayed them and stole millions from them. Their old boss has fallen in love with the town baker, who just so happens to work for him. He has taken refuge in the small town of Whittleton Creek, Vermont, with guards throughout the property. Only a professional hitman can do the job. So moving on to our targets, and today we have 5 of them, with no stipulations on how we dispatch them or what we wear whilst we do so, but we do have to get all shots must be headshots as our objective. So for today's challenge, we'll be starting as the garbage man, and we'll be bringing with us a remote micro taser, our ever trusty lockpick, along with our silenced pistol. So right from the start and off the bat, we're going to stop rummaging in the bins there, and we're going to hop over the fence into the garden just next to us. And in the garden here we will find firstly a propane cylinder, and then if we scoot across to the far corner of the garden into the bushes, we will find a pack of cigarettes. And once we have both of those items, we can vacate the premises. There are 2 other guards in the area. One is an enforcer, which is why we were crouching. We're going to give Janus's house a nice wide berth to avoid the camera on the front porch, and we're going to hop over the fence into Helen West's garden, and we're just going to hide in the bushes here for a few moments while we wait for our target over there to vacate the area. So he's going to wander off now. He's going to make his way into the house. We're not focused on him just at the present. We're focused on his colleague, who is currently over by the shed. So we're just going to throw our propane cylinder over as close as we can get to him. We're going to hide around the corner briefly while we pull out our silenced pistol, and when our target moves in a little closer, we can then blow up the propane cylinder and give out a free flying lesson. So first target taken care of. That obviously is going to cause a bit of panic in the area, so we're going to move away and head back to the house with the boat outside, right back where we started. And this time we're going to utilize our lockpick, and we're going to use the underground tunnel into Janus's house, and we're going to take care of our targets there. So we're just going to lockpick the garage, make our way through to the back door, lockpick our way through the back door, down past the drum kit and the rest of the musical instruments. We're going to lockpick our way into the little room here, and then we're going to pull on the book Greed, and that will open the secret compartment into the tunnel to Janus's house. We're going to don the bodyguard outfit lying around waiting for us before we continue on to the end of the tunnel and Janus's basement. Now there is a guard on duty in here. He's not in the ideal position, so we're just going to wait for him to move along, and he will head off to the other side of the room, and at that point we can take advantage of the distance between us, and we can take out the surveillance system that's in the far corner. hopefully we can get this with our second shot, or we're in trouble. Get your arm out of the way. Thank you. There we go. So we're just going to now make our way up the stairs into Janus's house, just as Janus and his bodyguard Gunther are heading past. So we're going to have to once again do a little bit of waiting while we wait for Janus to head upstairs, and he's going to go into his bedroom and do whatever it is he is going to be doing in there. And we need to wait for him to go up and into the bedroom, and then we need to wait for him to leave again before we can do very much else. Now there is an enforcer on patrol up on the landing. He will be going, so we're just waiting for Gunther to follow Janus into the bedroom. There he goes. We're going to make our way up and into the study, which is around to our left here, and we're going to wait for Janus and his bodyguard to do whatever it is they're doing in the bedroom and then leave, and then we're going to remove both of the guards on the landing. So once Janus and Gunther have vacated the area, the enforcer guard is currently in a rather unfavourable position, so we're just going to wait here a little bit longer until he moves away, and he is doing so now. So we're going to make our way into the bedroom, and we're going to add the cigarettes we collected earlier to the packet on the table here. We're going to take out our pistol and put one hole in the propane cylinder. That will take care of Janus. Now we want to reduce the amount of response time this explosion is going to cause, so we want to remove both of these guards. So we're just going to go into the study room here, or the spare room, the library, whatever you want to call this room, and in a few moments we will be joined by one of the two guards. This is the non-enforcer, so we're just going to close that door behind him, pounce on him, render him unconscious. There is a closet in the room that we can utilize, and we're just going to hide him in there nice and quickly. And then we're going to move on to the rather more tricky enforcer, who is currently not in a great position for us, but we can make our way back through Janus's bedroom, and we are now in the perfect position. So when the guard turns around to wander off, we can then get behind him and we can render him unconscious at our leisure. About here will do nicely. We're going to hide him with his colleague in the closet in the small study room. There we go, safe and sound. I brought you a friend, mate. Don't laugh at his man bun. So all we have to do now is await the return of Janus. We're going to select our silenced pistol, and then we're going to hide in the wardrobe here, and eventually Janus and Gunther will return. Janus will find his cigarettes and he will blow himself up, and at that point we can then quickly exit where we are, shoot Gunther in the head and hide him in a wardrobe, or as with the purposes of this video, Gunther actually gets in too close to the explosion and we get a 2-for-1 deal. Doesn't always happen, but it happens often enough, so we don't have to shoot Gunther in the head. We haven't actually alerted anyone. Things are going rather well. So all we have to do now is vacate Janus's property, and we can make our way into Helen West's house, more specifically her garden to start with, and down into the basement. So we've already dealt with one of our targets over here, so all we have to do is hop over the basement. We're going to leap over the banister into the basement, should I say, and into the basement itself. We're going to overflow the sink here, and then we're going to drop our taser into the puddle that is being created. Then we're going to make our way up to the house itself, lockpick our way into the property, and we're going to trigger a conversation between Helen West and one of her serving staff, and that will speed up Helen West's appointment with the basement. So if we leave her to just do as she does, she can get interrupted and go and speak to Janus on the phone, but we've dealt with him, or she can go to the door, or she just may not end up coming down here at all. So if we trigger that conversation, that will speed her into coming pretty much straight down here after the conversation has played out, and she will step into the puddle, and we can then turn on the taser, and that just leaves one more target, who is the patrolling guard in the garden, and he actually comes in to the property to use the bathroom. The serving staff member has left. There he is over in the distance, urinating on the bushes, and there is our target. So it's just a matter of who gets back here first, and it turns out that it would actually be easier to hide in the bathroom, and that negates the necessity of keeping an eye on the serving staff member, who in this case is going to make it back to the house first. So we will go and wait in the bathroom behind the door. This is probably a much better spot. So all we have to do now is await the arrival of our guest of honor, and when he comes in to use the facilities, we can then get behind him and reintroduce him to his breakfast. So with that now taken care of, that is all of our targets dealt with. All that's left for us to do is to make good our escape, and all we have to do is head out of the window, over the fence, and off to the bus stop exit, and hopefully the buses are running on time. So there we go, one more trending contract taken care of. We come back to Whittleton Creek a little too often for my opinion, but I do enjoy coming back here still nonetheless. So we have confirmation all of our targets were eliminated according to plan, we met our objective, and we get our Silent Assassin rating. I have been Anubis, and I will see you all in the next video.